This is a 1981 Yamaha XV-750 with the standard Hitachi HSC40s, I believe, the first generation carburetors. I just wanted to, I've spent more time than I care to mention trying to set these things up properly. There's a lot of stuff on the web, some really good information, great resource as usual, but I was thinking I could add a few things to what I've learned. Basically, before you start anything with regards to setting these things up, synchronization or getting your pilot screw settings correct, etc., etc., the rest of the bike, particularly your ignition system, your got to have a strong spark, your valves got to be set up correctly. There can't be any other serious problems with the bike, or you'll be just screwing around with this thing forever. The other thing that has been mentioned by a few other people already is the occasionally there can be problems with the fuel cap. If this fuel cap's not venting properly, then you will create a vacuum inside the tank, and that will be restricting your fuel flow. And once you come down through the tank, of course we've got plenty of fuel in the tank, you have your petcock or fuel tap. Now this one's on this particular bike is out of view here, but it's a three-way valve, and straight down, the lever straight down is on position, towards the back of the bike is off, and forward is reserve and prime. I believe some of these bikes come with a four-way valve, so you have reserve and prime are two separate items. Now we all know what reserve is. Prime is basically it's coming straight out of the tank. There's no restriction whatsoever, and when you're in on, this relies on this hose here. This is what this vacuum hose is all about here. This is going to your petcock fuel tap, and there's a little diaphragm in there, and this is a safety feature. So basically, if the engine isn't running and you're in the on position on your fuel tap, then the fuel will be the diaphragm. You don't have any suction or vacuum on this hose, and then the fuel will be shut off. This is a safety system, so if the bike falls over, it's not pouring fuel all over you while you're lying on the road. That's the same with the now this is an aftermarket tank, so I'm not sure about how safe this cap is here, but over on this the original tank with its beautiful patina, this has a safety system in it. There's some sort of ball bearing device, and if the bike rolls over, it'll stop the ventilation or the breathing of this cap to stop the fuel dumping on you. Then as some people have said, they've found problems with these caps where it's not allowing it to vent properly, and then you're going to get a restriction on the fuel flow. Inside the original tank, now these are the original filters that sit on top of the fuel cocks, or the petcocks, fuel taps, whatever you want to call them, and I've had to take them out on this bike, on the new tank. They just don't fit, they're too tall, so I've got inline filters, but they're doing the same job. So moving right along, before you can go anywhere, probably one of the best places to start is to check your float levels. And this is a really finicky thing. I've found a very finicky thing on these bikes, and as per the manual, the thing to do is to get the bike in an upright position. So you want it, I've got it chalked up here on the right side and on the stand side as well. So the bike is fully upright and ready to go for this to check the fuel level in the float bowls. Yeah, I really wanted to keep these carburetors. I really like the look of them. I like this retro style, and they just fit the bike nice. You know, I know a lot of people are putting the Makunis on, but I mean, this just looks engineering wise correct, and I think it looks really nice and suits the whole slim line. It's a very narrow bike, and I like that look, that nothing's sticking out of the sides. So anyway, so we're going to work with these carbs and get them going properly. My main problem has actually been with setting up the floats, and I'll go into more detail with that once we get the carburetors fully stripped down. So we're in the upright position. The next thing to do is to get yourself a little bit of 5mm ID hose. I've actually got a smaller piece of hose in the inside of this one, just to make sure it doesn't fold up when you bend it. Now this should fit snugly over the little spigot on the bottom of your float bowl. I don't know if you can see that. That's in position there now. And then ideally you want to try and tuck this hose. I mean, really it wants to be right where this idle thumb screw is, but hopefully that will hold secure. Now once again, now the manual, the Yamaha manual, they say run the bike. I'm not sure why, but if you're in the on position, of course, you need the bike running to get fuel through to the carb, so maybe that's why. But you can simply, of course, put the tap into the prime position and you will get fuel flowing into this float bowl once you unscrew your little drain plug here. So this is interconnecting to that. It's like a little screw that basically blocks off that dent in the bottom of the float bowl, the end of the screw. So all we can see here, it's taken a little while to fill up. It should be a lot higher than that. What's it gonna do? It'll stay down there. Give this thing a little tap just in case my floats are sticking. What? What? Why? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so according to this, I mean, that didn't flow as quickly and as smoothly as I thought it would. Let's try that again. Okay, that wasn't very successful. This is the thing with this, it's seem to get different readings. Anyway, I've also put a rag down here. It's a good idea to keep the fuel off your engine case. I mean, this has got 2-pack clear coat on just about everything, but it still will stain your coating if you let the fuel pool on the engine casing. So opening this again, this is looking a little bit better. That's flowing a lot more quickly. And all right, that's not far off. I know this bike is running lean on this side, so this is, I mean, we could get out the vernier and all that nonsense and measure this exactly, but we know it's not right, so that needs to be up here, right, ideally, like I said before, the fuel hose or the your measuring hose ideally should be right in the middle there. So I reckon we're, I don't know, maybe 5 to 8 mil short right there. So that's gonna mean the fun job of taking off the carbs. Now these carbs, once you've done this about 100 times, you get pretty good at it. So we'll just